Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk. I am your host, author Dree. Thank you for joining me for another fun-filled show where we inform, inspire, and motivate. So, thank you for joining me again. I'm so glad you guys could be here with me this evening on Friday, December 11th. Woohoo! Today is Driven Friday. All right, yes. This show is designed to get you pick your spirits up and get you going. So all this stuff, this doom and gloom, you can just put that in the back seat for right now and just focus on being positive and having good stuff, informative, inspirational, and motivational. So, as you guys know, every week I tell you guys you can purchase my books on my website at dtlproduct.net for those of you that don't remember. And I'm going to put it down here on my banner, my fancy banner, so you guys can see where you can purchase my books. And also, you guys can view my show every single week on Let's Talk with Author Dree on Facebook. So go to the Facebook page, Let's Talk with Author Dree, and there you will find my all my shows that I've been doing. And on YouTube, all the shows are on there since August. You'll see all the shows. Like I said, every show from August you can binge watch if you want. You can see how I've evolved over time and improved and improved and improved, right? You got to always improve. So there you'll see all the shows. Make sure you hit like and hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe. And tell a friend and tell a friend. Also on Facebook, hit like and follow and set your notifications so you can be notified when I go live. So thank you so much once again for joining us. As I mentioned earlier, this is Driven Friday. So we got some good stuff for you guys. So tonight, my special guests are driven to make their dreams come true by making a difference in the world. Godwin is an up and coming a young musical artist that have an overwhelming amount of female fans that love his music. We will hear some of his music and talk to him a little bit later. My second guest is a psychologist and a counselor who has her own podcast show, which is called Couch Versations. Instead of conversations, it's Couch Versations. She is also the CEO of True Black Essentials, a retail business and website that highlights Black businesses that make products for African Americans. She will be on the show in just a few minutes. So, hot topics. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my comments. I'm going to say hey to my loyal Facebook audience that join me every week. I see, oh, my daughter, hey, baby. I see hubby, hey. Carla, love you. Hey, Sheila, cousin Sheila's on here. Hey, you guys. Absolutely. I'm so glad. And for those of you that don't want anybody to know you're watching, I still can see you, but hello to you too as well. So I just want to know, you guys think about this, no pressure, right? So for those of you that are watching this show pre-recorded, I always have a live Facebook audience every week that I love. They are there to support me 100%. So you guys, the audience, live audience members, I want you to think about this. If you want to come on camera tonight, I'm going to let you come on. So let me know in the comment section if you want to come on, and I'm going to send you the link and you can come on and say hello to everybody. Hey, mommy and love, I see you. So also you can raise your hand if you want to come on and say hello to everybody. I will bring you on camera and put the link in the comment section. So let me know if you guys are game. So let's see here. Carla's saying vote for Raphael Ronak and John Alsop. Yes, unfortunately, I can't get too political because Facebook will shut me down. But yes, Carla, we hear you. Those of you, get ready to get your early voting done. That I can say. So make sure you early vote if you live in Georgia. I know several of you from all over. I believe last time I checked, it was 13 states and somebody in Switzerland. So if you guys don't live in Georgia, just say a prayer for us in Georgia. It's kind of crazy. Every time you watch a TV show, it's the political commercials. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of it. But I get it. I get it. So Anywho, just want to make sure you guys register to vote for in January if you live in Georgia. So let's see what else we got here. Yes, hey Alice, how are you? She's hyping up the voting as well. She says the voting is going to be on the 14th. Early voting is on the 14th. So I know what I did was I got my absentee ballot. Actually, it probably was a couple days ago, but I just went through my mail today. Ooh, but I'm definitely going to fill it out and drop it in the box like I did last time for those people that live in Georgia. So, absolutely. So, you guys, I want to see what you guys think, my live audience. What do you guys think about the vaccine? Oh, my goodness. You know what? Y'all gonna shoot me. Y'all gonna shoot me, but I hate to say it. I'm gonna get the vaccine. I am. I'm not gonna be the first in line. No, 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 no. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit back, as they say in the cut, and just watch and see what happens. If I start seeing people turn to zombies, no, I'm not getting it. But if everything goes well and they say it's 95% effective and people don't get sick and it's all good. Absolutely. I'm going to get it. I know a lot of people have mixed emotions about that, but I know for me, I'm just sick of this COVID-19. I'm sick of this craziness. I want to be able to go out into the world with my mask on, of course, and just not even have to worry, right? And just know that I'm good. And the way I look at it, you guys, for those of you that are 60s, 70s, 80s babies, when we were small children, what did our parents do? They took us to get vaccinated. You couldn't start school unless you had your chicken pox, your measles, all those shots. So that's how I look at it. It's just another vaccination. And I know a lot of people say I've seen the controversial videos and whatnot, but the only way to really get this thing shut down and let us get going back to life is the vaccine. So for those of you you know that don't believe in it, I get it. I understand. So I'm looking here to see comments here to see what everybody's saying about the vaccine. I'm looking here on my little comment section, and I'm also looking at my phone to see. Oh, my daughter says, "What if we turn into zombies?" I know, right? I thought about that Will Smith movie. What was it called? Legend or something, or I can't remember, but it was where he was the last person or one of the few last, and everybody was zombies because he developed a vaccine. Oh my goodness, what do you guys think about that? Yeah, my daughter says she could see it being mandatory. I saw something here in Georgia. It said on the news, it said, can an employer make you get vaccinated? Can they legally make you? And it said, yeah, they can. And I see, I know, again, I know it's controversial, but I see how they can, simply because they could say it's equivalent to getting the measles and the chicken pox. And, you can't come to work if you're going to be infecting everybody because you refuse to get the vaccination. So, we'll see. Like right now, England, they're the test dummies, so to speak. I won't say dummies, but they're going first, right? So now we can all kind of see what happens. But you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith in God, and you just gotta have faith and just go with it. So yeah, I get it, you guys. It's one of those controversial things, but I'm gonna do it. First, I'm gonna make sure everything is good. I'm gonna watch for a couple months and see what's what. But I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I just this COVID-19 stuff is just, whew, it's driving me insane. So, what do y'all think? Anybody got anything else to say about it, about the vaccination? I guess they're like, nah, we ain't gonna say nothing. It's too controversial. So. I get it. Anybody want to come on live with me and show your face? You don't have to be dressed and fancy and all that good stuff. You just come on and just say, hey. Okay, Alice says it's not on my list of things to do. I understand. I know, right? I get it. When you think about the Tuskegee experiment years and years ago, what they went through, I understand. That's kind of a tough thing. So I get it. I get it. Hey, Kojak, I see you. What's up, super family? You are there. Okay. So, everybody, it's time for my guest. I'm so excited. Her name is Dr. Adrienne. Let me formally introduce her. This lady is amazing. So, as I said earlier, she is the host of Couch Versations. Instead of conversations, she has Couch Versations. She is a doctor, a psychologist, a counselor, And she has an interactive experience featuring insights and commentary on a variety of subjects uh, from Dr. Adrienne Berry. That is her name. She is a licensed professional counselor, psychologist, psychotherapist. She owns Changemakers LLC, which is located here in Atlanta, Georgia, and she is the CEO of True Black Essentials. So, everybody, let's give her a warm welcome as I bring her in the room.
Hi,
Hey, lady, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on Let's Talk. I appreciate you being here. You
Yep.
just a celebrity and having all these celebrities on your show.
Look, I don't know things about it. About being a celebrity. I'm just a regular person.
I understand. I understand. Well, it's all good. Thank you for coming on. I'm so excited that you are here to just talk to us. I just want to pick your brain about so much. Can we first start off with the counselor and the psychotherapist role that you do in your practice? I mean, with COVID-19, so much is going on. Unfortunately, the suicide rate is up, the divorce rate is up. People are out of jobs. Congress still can't get it together on whether they're going to give a stimulus or more unemployment. It's just a mess right now. And I got to imagine the individuals that were fragile, mentally before the COVID-19. I can only imagine that they really, really, things are really tough for them. So in your practice, what advice would you give individuals out there that are watching? How do they stay mentally healthy during this craziness, during these elections and all of this stuff? What advice would you give?
Well, one of the things I've been saying is that, everybody needs to manage how much of the news that they are willing to watch. I've got feedback. I'm trying to get rid of the feedback.
Okay, is it the ear pods?
Well, I can because
Oh, okay.
look, while we're feedback.
That's better.
Look, so anyway, I'm going to try to speak over it. So one of the things I'm saying is that people need to be very careful about how much of the news that they watch, because you can get injured by constantly watching the news and all of the things that are going on. So don't sit in front of the television for hours and hours a day. Because you just how much that you can manage. And so when you sit in front of the television and you watch all of the things that are going on and go on today, it makes you feel like nothing will ever right. And so if you are managing COVID, anything else is going through about your mind. And so it's yes, you hear the
Now, you kind of sound muffled a little bit here. I'm just gonna take a look and check my settings here, make sure we good. Okay, does that help any?
I hope so. I can still hear it.
You can? Oh wow, that's odd. Okay.
Yeah. I can do the podcast. I didn't have any issues. So
Oh wow.
I just want to make sure. Because I don't want it to come across on here.
Yeah, I can hear you just a little muffled a little bit. You still have the feedback? Oh wow. That's odd. Let me see. Let me try something here. Okay, let's try this. Does that help?
I hope so.
I hear you better. I hear you much better.
Okay. We're going to do it.
Okay. Oh.
Yes, a lot of people.
Oh wow. Okay. I wonder if it's the volume. Maybe if you adjust your volume. No.
It's typically when they're open on your mic. And so mine all plays.
Okay. Yeah, I just checked all the levels.
Wow. But we're gonna make it better.
Okay.
Look, we can make it better. So one of the things that I talked about today on my podcast, whatever you just did made it go away. So one of the things that I talked about today on my podcast is about, life being like Christmas lights. And so a lot of times there's just one light that's out of place. And we allow that one thing that goes wrong in our day to tank our entire day. So I'm just somebody that believes that, okay, we just keep playing with it and tinkering because we are human beings and none of us are perfect. And so a big part of all of this Zooming and StreamYarding and all of these platforms is that this is technology. And so it's not fail proof. We are human beings. And so, and a big part of having mental wellness is about recognizing that, things are not perfect in life either. And so, so back to your original question about what would my recommendation be for people in terms of how do you just manage some of all of this that's going on? And so you've got to limit how much of the intake you allow to come into your body. How much are you willing to consume? How much can you handle? Because what somebody else might be able to handle may not necessarily be what you can handle or what you even want to handle. And so we have to be very careful about sitting in front of a television, being on social media, and watching everybody else's perception of all the things going wrong inside of the world. So limit your intake, what you allow to go inside of your eyes and your ears, because then that's going to impact what comes out of your mouth.
That's deep. That's deep. I think when I'm hit my mic, that's when the echo goes away. So I'll just ask you, that's so true because you can look on Facebook and, other people are out having a good time. And then you got those that are in the house. You got a variety of things. So that's awesome. Excellent advice. And just try to stay focused. And you're right. If you watch the news, I was just telling my husband the other day, watching the news, is there anything good on there? Like they might give you 20 seconds of a little boy that made masks and you're like, oh, but other than that, all the rest of it is just doom and gloom. Oh my goodness, that's excellent. So what are some of the key signs or signals when you think someone should seek out a professional counselor? What are some of the things that a mother, if she sees her son doing something or a husband or vice versa, what are some of the signs that they need to reach out, get some help for them?
Okay, so I'm glad that you put a different portion to your question, because my initial response was going to be in terms of what I think. When I think somebody needs to reach out, if they're breathing, everybody needs to have a therapist. Everybody needs to see a counselor, because especially in the Black community, we've been raised to keep secrets. And so going to counselors and therapists is not something that we are raised to do, but our white counterparts seek us out all the time for professional advice. Black people are raised to keep secrets. Don't be going out of here talking about what's going on in this house. And so as a result of that, we suffer in silence with a lot of childhood trauma and experiences, that we don't know how to then deal with as adults. So everybody needs counseling. But in terms of as a parent, you know your children. So I'm a mother of 4 adult children. And so they're all different. They all have different personalities, but you have to know your children enough to know when one of your children might need some additional support. And so, the way that you look at therapists is going to strongly dictate what it is that you pass on to your children. So I get a lot of clients who will come into my office and sit on the couch and they're like, Dr. Adrienne, I'm not crazy. And so my response to them is always a resounding, well, I'm so glad that you're not crazy, because I don't do crazy. It's not crazy to seek help and support. And contrary to belief, real therapists don't fix your life. I've been doing this work for 27 years now. And so fixing somebody's life is only done on television by somebody who is not a trained professional. So as therapists, we empower other people to make the best decisions for their own lives. That's what real therapists do. I don't take any of my clients' issues and concerns with me. When I am done and that 50 minutes is up, I am on to the next person, because I am trained to understand that it's not my responsibility to fix anybody except for myself. I am the only person that I am in control of. So I always encourage people to go to therapists and don't wait until you're in crisis, because I consider myself to be a preventionist. Come to me when you're trying to set some goals and plan the next big thing in your life. Don't wait until you are dealing with crisis and trauma to then try to set goals, because it's a lot more challenging to do it when you are inside of a crisis. And so I see a lot of adolescents, in particular, that come from different private schools around the Atlanta area, because quite frankly, they need the support, because a lot of those kids are dealing with anxiety. Of course, during COVID, we've seen an uptake in the number of adolescents and youth that we're seeing, because this is different for everybody. So you've got parents who are frustrated with how to support their kids, because they don't even understand the curriculum that their children are supposed to be learning. So they're frustrated with that. The kids are frustrated because the parents don't understand how to support them. And quite frankly, they are frustrated because they miss the socialization aspect of being with their peers. Especially when kids are in the middle school age and high school age, their peers are more important to them than their parents are. So there's a lot of anxiety that is going around. And so as therapists, we have seen an increase in our clients. And, especially because we're doing most clients virtually. I'm doing all of mine virtually. We've seen an increase in that. So the couch is a great place to be, whether you have crisis and trauma and unresolved issues that you need to work on, or whether or not you just need someone to help you facilitate moving your life to the next level.
That's so true, and that's interesting that you speak on that, because I know that children are going through it, but I didn't realize that it could be so traumatizing. What you just mentioned, they're used to having a social life and playing outside. That's got to be really, really hard. I'm a mother of adult children as well, so to hear about small children, wow, that's deep. That's deep. So, have you had any? And I know you really can't get into it for privacy reasons, but across the board, with the Black Lives Matter and all the shootings and all the racial profiling, all this stuff, have you seen an influx of people having, what would be the word for that? Just complexes about being pulled over altogether, and any interaction with police?
Well, I wouldn't say that I've had necessarily had an upsurge in that. I think that the majority of my clients are African American, so that is something that they deal with on a regular basis. So I would not say that the Black Lives Matter movement in any way impacted that in increasing, the clients that I have or their concerns about that. I will say that I've done a lot of workshops and trainings on racism, even for other countries. I've done some work with Haiti in terms of, working with the U.S. Embassy of Haiti and doing some trainings and workshops on diversity and inclusion and racism, and as well as some other companies that are on the West Coast. So what I did see through this Black Lives Matter movement is corporate America recognizing that there needed to be some extended conversation that was not being had. There were some things that needed to be addressed, because some of the uncomfortableness that Black people had always been experiencing inside of corporate America was now being illuminated, and people were feeling more comfortable saying, I'm not comfortable. And what happened was a lot of the powers that be had to start to address some of these concerns inside of the workplace.
That's so deep. That is so deep. I mean, you're absolutely right, because a lot of people, they said, well, racism doesn't exist anymore. And it's sad that these events had to take place for them to see that, yeah. And, with what's been going on in the political arena and the elections, I mean, it's just so many people are so comfortable being racist. So, wow, that's interesting. That's amazing that you work with that you worked with Haiti and some other countries. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, since we're on the topic of corporate America, so, the stigma has always been, don't go see a counselor, don't go see a psychologist or a therapist because your employers are found out. And if they find out, you could lose your job. What's your thoughts on that? Are employers able to find out if they were to submit like I don't know, a medical insurance claim? Are they able to see what's going on in that area?
No. So I do a lot of work for EAP, Employee Assistance Programs, for a lot of different companies and organizations. And so the relationship between a therapist and a client is a confidential relationship. But I am the first to tell my clients that come to me, if you are mandated by your employer to seek professional help, then they have the right to get those documents from us as therapists. And so if you are sent there because you are having issues with your coworkers, you're having problems with your performance, and they are mandating you to come, then absolutely the employer gets every note that we write should they request it. But if you are just using your employee assistance program benefits through your employer, then your employer does not have the right to your record. So there's going to always be confidentiality between the therapist and the client.
That's awesome. That's good to know. That's good to know. Let me just take a look at the audience and see if they have any questions, any concerns here. I see there's a question. Somebody said, "Have you seen an increase in young adults postgraduate life seeking help after graduating, knowing you can't celebrate the way you want or start your career, jobs, etc. Brings you down? Are you seeing an increase with that with young adults that's graduated from college or trying to get careers and so forth?"
I have not personally seen in terms of my client base, but I have goddaughter who graduated. I have a cousin that completed her doctorate. We weren't able to celebrate her. And so certainly on a personal level, I've seen some of the anxiety and the depression and the sadness, associated both for the parents and for the graduates who were not able to celebrate in the way that they would have considered to be the norm. But one of the things that I was saying back in the spring, when we were all still kind of sequestered and the world was shut down and a lot of the celebrations were going away, what I said is that we have to find a new normal inside of something abnormal. And so everything that we experience is about us shifting our mindset. So if you don't change the way that you think about something, you can't change the way that you experience it. So we don't have to, not celebrate people. We just have to change the way that we celebrate. We may have to delay some celebrations. We may have to make some things smaller if that's what we choose to do, but you can still find a way to celebrate someone even inside of a pandemic. And so everything starts with how you view things. You don't change the way that you think about it. You can't change the way that you feel about it or the way that you understand it.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome advice. I love it. I love it. So before we get into the true black essentials, let me ask you one last question. So share with the viewers what your podcast is about. I saw that you had like Judge Hatchett and some of the other people on there. You just know all the celebrities and doing your thing. You mind sharing what that's all about?
Well, I mean, I do different podcasts. So I'm on different podcasts. I host different podcasts. And so people that I know um, come and participate on the podcast, depending on what we're talking about. So my mentors are Judge Glenda Hatchett and Dr. Iris Cooper, the founder of Glory Foods. And so I asked them to come on and to do a podcast where we talked about Black economics and justice after the election. So that was what we were talking about.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about, well, actually before you tell us anything about True Black Essentials, do you mind if I show everybody your video that you okay, okay, well let's get into that, you guys. So she could tell you all about what True Black Essentials is about. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. We're gonna share it here so everybody can see.
True Black Essentials is a hypermarket where you can shop for everything that you need in your household. Everything from your health and beauty aids to your foods to your furniture, your clothing, jewelry, shoes, everything that it is that Black people produce. You'll be able to purchase those things inside of True Black Essentials. Black people have a history of being artisans and craftsmen all over the world. It's what we do. It's what we've.
Oh no. Somebody sent me a message on Messenger. No. Hold on. Let me get that out of there. Oh my goodness. Right in the middle of the video. I'm sorry about that, everybody. Let me see if we can start it again. Let me just stop sharing while I recue that. Wow, and just so you guys know, she has a page on Facebook that she has True Black Essentials. So what I did was I got it from the Facebook page. So I'm just going to recue that up. So do you mind telling everybody real quick, Dr. Adrienne, basically what that is about? And I'm going to cue this up as you tell the viewers.
Well, I think and then go back.
Okay, let me recue the video. I will do that for you here. Let me go back and redo that. That was funny. Oh my goodness. Who thought that would have happened? And that's and the person that he's one of my faithful viewers. So, or I should say that's in the audience. So, and just while I'm pulling this up, you guys, it is, she has a Facebook page. Like I said, it's called True Black Essentials. So if you guys ever want to do some research and check her out. So we're going to go back in and get this video going. That was, oh my goodness. I apologize for that. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're almost there. Just trying to get it queued back up here. This is an awesome video. You guys did a great job on this.
True Black Essentials. I've known, obviously.
Okay, I don't know what is going on. We having all kind of technical difficulties tonight. It's okay. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. There you are. And it was
your furniture, your clothes.
We're going to start it all over. You guys, this is good stuff. Okay, now let me go back and share my screen so everybody can see this. Here we go. You know, it's funny because when you watch CNN, all those other places, this is not a professional show, so there's things that can happen. Okay, here we go.
True Black Essentials is a hypermarket where you can shop for everything that you need in your household. Everything from your health and beauty aids to your foods to your furniture, your clothing, jewelry, shoes, everything that it is that Black people produce. You'll be able to purchase those things inside of True Black Essentials. Black people have a history of being artisans and craftsmen all over the world. It's what we do. It's what we've always done. And so now True Black Essentials will give us a home to showcase those products. And so the first 100 vendors are the centenarians, and they were handpicked. They were chosen by me because I was looking for vendors that of course carried a variety of items that it is that we make and produce, but also because I was looking at demographics and I was looking at the quality of the products. And so the centenarians, 10 of those vendors are young entrepreneurs, and I'm calling them the talented 10. And so there are some amazing youth out here who are making good quality products that we use in our everyday homes. And so we have everything from coffees and teas to cleaning supplies to true artesian water, the only true artesian water in the United States. And it's a true artesian water company because 1186 is made on site, and he does everything from drilling his own spring water to blowing the bottles that the water is carried inside of. And so, you know, True Black Essentials will truly be the home for Black entrepreneurs to have their products carried in stores. And so we won't have to think about whether or not the products inside the store are made for us. They are made for us. They will all be made for us, and they will all be made by us. And So this is our opportunity to take the $1.3 trillion of spending power that we have as Black people and truly create generational wealth for people all over the world, not just in the United States, but people that are our ancestors that, are a part of why it is that we are able to do what it is that we do. And I've been asked if True Black Essentials would ever be sold. And the answer to that is absolutely not. Because what I know for sure is that God did not give me this vision for us to not utilize it for its purpose, which is to create generational wealth. So this is the opportunity for us to understand what Black economics truly looks like, because when we have economic power, we have power. And so this is our opportunity not to be in competition. This isn't about anybody else who's out there selling Black products. This is about the assignment that was given to me. This is about me doing what it is that I've always been raised to do, which is to help other people. And so I grew up asking God to use me to change the world. And I think this is his opportunity to allow me to do just what I've asked him to do. And so when we help people who are in Haiti and Jamaica and the Bahamas and the Caribbean islands and Africa who have had generational poverty to then have economic stability and then finally generational wealth, then the mission of True Black Essentials is being accomplished.
I love it. That is amazing. I love it. That's outstanding. I applaud you for doing that. That is definitely something that we need in our community. So I know you talked about a little bit in the video. Tell us more about it. Like, did you just wake up one day and just say, "This is what I'm going to do"? Like, who inspired you or got you going on that?
So on the morning of June 19th of 2020, I was hosting a block party. I did a virtual block party. I have 4 or 5 platforms across Facebook. And so 5 years ago, God had given me an idea of Black on the Block, where I was going to just bring Black businesses together and literally have a block party for Black entrepreneurs to say, okay, here are these products and services. Because being from Tuskegee, Alabama, I grew up around Black entrepreneurs. That's what we had. So the businesses inside of Tuskegee were Black-owned businesses. So it was not a foreign concept to me to have a Black-owned grocery store. So I'm somebody that has always sought to support Black. And so 5 years ago, he gave me this assignment, Black on the Block. And one thing happened after another, got ready to go through a divorce. And so I didn't do anything but to trademark the word. And so fast forward 5 years to 2020, and everything's virtual. I'm doing workshops virtually. I'm seeing my clients virtually. And so I said, I'm going to host a virtual block party. And so literally 3 weeks before Juneteenth, because I always wanted the Black on the block party to be on Juneteenth, I said, I'm going to start the Facebook group Black on the Block and have a block party. And so I started the group. Within 24 hours, there were 2,500 people in that group. And so I said, if you've got a Black business, you want to showcase it, hit me up. And so literally people were flooding my messages. And, I had to cut it off at 40 businesses. And so we had 40 vendors from all across the United States that came onto my platform, and they showcased their businesses. And so the morning of the block party, I'm on the phone and I'm talking to my friend, and on his way home from work, and I'm telling him about all this different stuff that I wanted to do. And I said, I want to do greeting cards and journals and, all this stuff and signs. And so he was like, you're all over the place. You have to focus. You got all this stuff you want to do. And he was just fussing. And I said to him very quietly, I know what I'm supposed to do. And he said, just like that. And I said, God just dropped it in my spirit. And he said, well, what is it? And I said, I'm going to open up an all Black store where every product on every shelf in every aisle is Black owned, Black grown, and Black produced. I said, and I mean on the scale of a Walmart or Target, because We already make everything from toothbrushes to toothpastes, to toilet paper, to furniture. I said, but we don't have one place on the face of the earth that we can walk into and not have to think about who made this product. He said to me, you mean like Black Essentials? And so I said, oh my God, I love that name. And I wrote it down in my journal. And while we were talking, he was like, oh yeah, I know all about marketing and, the motherland and the mothership and mother's finest. And he was just naming all this other stuff. And I said, no. So I like the very first thing you said. And I said, but Black Essentials is already out there. It's something, I'm not sure what. And I said, but I know how to trademark. All I have to do is to put a word in front of it. And so he was still talking. And so I said, I was writing down different things inside of my journal. And so I said, what do you think about True Black Essentials? And he said, oh my God, that's it. True Black Essentials, TBE, TBE, TBE. And I underlined TBE. And I said to him, those are our initials. And so we have a little inside joke about what TBE stands for. And it's his last name, my last name, everlasting. So that is our inside joke. But and so the same way that I'm talking to you is the same way I was talking to him. And so literally I said to him, I want to open up in Atlanta, New Orleans, Charlotte, Houston, and Jacksonville. And I want to work with people all over the world. I mean, Black people in Haiti and Jamaica, the Bahamas, the Caribbean islands, and Africa. And I said, and I want to take the 400 acres that my parents own in Tuskegee, and I want to build manufacturing plants and distribution centers. And so he said, God just gave you this? And I said, literally, God has a sense of humor, because to give me an assignment like this on Juneteenth, he is really trying to free the slaves. And so that conversation ended with him. I called up my mentors, Judge Glenda Hatchett and Dr. Iris Cooper, in separate conversations, told them what God had assigned me. And they both said to me, you cannot open up brick and mortar in a pandemic. You got to go e-commerce. And so I went back to him and I said, if I have to go e-commerce, I want to own the software. I don't want to come off of anybody else's platform, because that's just another form of slavery. So he said, then we're going to invest so you can own the software. So we own the software for True Black Essentials. So I didn't come off of an Amazon, a Shopify, an Etsy. And, honestly, my goal is that if Black people understand what the research says about if we spend Black, because they do it inside of other cultures, the Jewish community supports Jewish people. And that is why you have so many wealthy Jewish people. And so, again, this is not about me being in competition with anybody else. This is about the assignment that God has given to me. And so my goal is to be the Black Amazon, to be the Black Target and Black Walmart. And so, I welcome anybody that has a product, a good. I already have vendors in Nairobi, Kenya, Nigeria, Canada, California, Texas. I mean, they're everywhere. And so, some amazing vendors, but there are other pieces to True Black Essentials, because this has to be a movement so that we understand what economic sustainability inside of our community looks like. And so this is about creating generational wealth, which is something that I've talked about for the last 30 years. So I have a partnership with, a career tech high school, because we're going to make sure that we are growing the next generation of entrepreneurs. So by the time that they go to college, they're already prepared. So I invite every Black person that is on Etsy to get off of Etsy. It is $10 a month. I'm calling it out. It's $10 a month to be a part of True Black Essentials, and 10% of sales. That's it. You got Black people on Amazon paying $50 a month and more, and 35 and 45% of their sales. And so you are making them richer. True Black Essentials is about making all of us economically sound, creating generational wealth, not just in the United States, but for Black people all over the world, the Black people that we come from, so that we are all understanding what economic empowerment really, really looks like. So I'm excited. You know, it has been a labor of love. I understand what the 10,000 hour rule looks like, because literally June 19th of 2020 is when God assigned me this. And so we launched our e-commerce site on November 1st. That was our launch date. That is what we did. And so I've been encouraging everybody, if you are looking for your Christmas gifts, come on True Black Essentials and support some of these amazing Black vendors who are out here. You know, and a lot of my vendors have not even finished registering and all of that. But, you know, the goal is still to open up brick and mortar June 19th, 2021. That is the goal. And so all of the food carried inside of True Black Essentials is grown by Black people and made by Black people, and, you know, clothing, shoes, furniture, everything, makeup, everything.
I love it. That's awesome. I love how you put it down in terms of, you know, businesses on Amazon and Etsy and all these places. Absolutely. You guys, we got to give back and get our economic growth. Like you said, other cultures, the Jews and so forth, they do their thing. Why can't we have something as well? You know, it's so discouraging when you go into a Black beauty supply store to get your Black beauty supplies and
Oh,
it's owned
I
by,
own
you
a
know,
beauty supply
so
store.
absolutely.
Online beauty supply store is trueblackessence.com. It launched before True Black Essentials. And so I said to people, you no longer, what we have to do is to come outside of our comfort zone. We are comfortable with our norm, which is to do what we've always done. And so we've got to get okay with being uncomfortable, with doing something different, if it means that it's going to change the trajectory for our community. Because what I keep telling people is that economic empowerment is what is the catalyst behind political power. And so when we have economic power, then a Barack Obama or our Sarah Senator Kamala Harris, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, is no longer, those are not an anomaly anymore. That becomes the standard. And so what people of other persuasions who are in power have always known is that if they can keep us as Black people separated and divided, and we don't ever reach the pinnacle of economic empowerment, then they're not concerned about us. But the moment that we bring our dollars together, as we can see through this Black Lives Matter movement, everybody has had to start to listen to us. And so people have asked me, are you concerned about a lawsuit because True Black Essentials will only carry, you know, items that are produced and grown and owned by Black people? And I said, no, I'm not concerned about a lawsuit. That's why we're not going to be a publicly traded company. We will be a private, family-owned, billion-dollar brand. And so the discrimination is not in who carries our products, because anybody can come in there and shop. You can be polka dot as long as your money is green. I welcome you to come inside of True Black Essentials and spend your money. But every product on every shelf in every aisle will be Black owned, Black grown, and Black produced. And so that will never change.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. You got me all excited and goosebumps, you know, and everybody's just shooting out hearts, a live audience. Absolutely. Girl, you are on a mission. Totally. You guys make sure you support her. Please make sure you support her. And Dr. Adrienne, how can everybody follow you if they want to get more information? I know you've got the Facebook page. Please give everybody your information.
And listen, I need to make this very clear, because I say this all the time. I am a very humble person. I am from Tuskegee, Alabama. And so I always say, God, really, you gave this assignment to me, a little girl from Tuskegee, but I have always asked God, use me to change the world. I was an only child. I'm always somebody that has helped and nurtured and supported everybody, which is, you know, why I think, you know, being a therapist was a perfect mission for me, perfect ministry for me. And so as a part of that, when people say congratulations, I quickly stop them and say, this is not about Adrienne. This is about God saying, I am giving you all the resources, because there aren't a lot of Black families anywhere that can say they own 400 acres of land anywhere. And I've already partnered with Tuskegee University. They are already on board with, helping to design the manufacturing plant, the distribution center. So we need additional resources because it takes millions of dollars to build a billion-dollar brand. And so this truly will be the company that belongs to Black people. And so this is not about Adrienne. My friend has said to me, God didn't give you an idea for you to create generational wealth for everybody else, and our families get left behind. So he said, we can't keep going into the 401k to fund this, because had I had my way, I would have figured out a way for all the vendors to be on there for free. But it was a significant investment to get this software, to own the software. But what I know, and this was a lesson from my parents, you have to have ownership and not just be a renter. You got to be willing to invest. So this was something that I believed in enough. And so we even have, a TBE university. So every vendor is not ready out the gate. Some people have some awesome products, but they need some support and help. So I've got a team of people to help work on some of the marketing, but to help on your packaging, to help on, the presentation for your product, so that you can be ready to come into a store. Because somebody asked me, if True Black Essentials was going to be like a flea market on Old National. And that was what was asked of me. And I said, clearly, you don't know me, because I don't do flea markets. And so I said, I'm a luxury brand person. But what True Black Essentials will be is it will be a hypermarket that fits everybody's economic budget. So we have pieces that are extremely expensive because they're handmade pieces and they are high quality pieces. But the whole point of being able to mass produce and have a manufacturing plant is so that we can drive the cost down for what is carried inside of the stores. And so I am very, very excited. I have a board of directors that looks like a who's who of Black executives across the United States. And so very, very thankful to them. Shout out to my advisory board members. They are some bad folk. And what I know for sure is that in God's timing, this is all going to come into fruition in the way that He has it planned and designed. So that's True Black Essentials. And so I have a couple of groups on Facebook, Couch Conversations with Dr. Adrienne is one of them. Black on the Block, True Black Essentials, of course. And I have a private group, BOB Listings, which is Black-owned business listings. There's about 7,500 people in there that have businesses. So you can feel free to join that one as well. And then Lounge Conversations with Dr. Adrienne, because in 2021, I am going to get that one back up and running. And Lounge Conversations is where it goes down after dark. So it is a closed group as well. Real adult conversation over there.
I love it. I love it. I look up to you so much, Dr. Adrienne. That's awesome. That's awesome. You doing your thing. And I appreciate you so much for coming on Let's Talk. I am inspired because I'm a Black business owner as well, with my books, my podcast, my production company. So you just definitely inspire me, and you're driven. Keep it what you're doing. You guys make sure, live audience, you guys make sure you check her out. If you're not a Black business owner, make sure you purchases some goods from her website. So we got to support one another. We have to. That's huge. I thank you so much for coming on Let's Talk. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate you. And if there's anything that I can ever do to help and support, just let me know. I'm here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And you guys, as you can see, that was Dr. Adrienne. She is just wow. She's amazing. I look up to her so much. She is definitely a sorority sister. She's a business owner. She's all that. So you guys make sure we got to help one another, right? We got to definitely do that. So awesome, awesome. She's driven, definitely. So my next guest, you guys, his name is I'm just still just so in awe. My next guest, he is Godwin. He is a musical artist born to Nigerian parents in his home, but he was born here in Atlanta, Georgia. His parents are from Nigeria. And Godwin began experimenting with instruments and his vocals at a young age. Godwin, the singer, songwriter, and producer, doesn't limit his expression to a certain genre. Rather, he ventures into different rhythms and rhymes in order to give his words a meaningfulness. So from R&B to Afro beats, he covers the whole spectrum of sound. So Godwin had another engagement, but I did tape our interview, and I want you guys to take a listen. This gentleman is just truly, truly gifted. To be a young at a young age, huge, huge. So you guys take a listen to the interview here. Let me get that going here. Hey, Godwin, welcome to
Hey,
Let's Talk. How are you?
all right. How are you?
Good. You staying safe and washing your hands and wearing a mask, all that good stuff?
Always.
Good, good. Well, thank you for coming on Let's Talk. I feel so honored to have a professional musician come on to showcase his music and share with us what he's got going on. Are you okay if I play maybe a cut or two from some of your music before we get into the interview?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Do you want to tell us anything about the record I Found My Pace, Pace? Tell us just a little bit about that before I play it.
So I was inspired by my journey as an artist because when I first started, it was about go, go, go fast and create, get this music out here. I want success, but I had to realize that it's a marathon. So that's why I named that song I Found My Pace. So it's just me saying I'm at this pace in my life now, and it's smooth, it's okay. And as long as I keep going, I'm going to get to where I aim to, which is, to be successful and to touring, international touring artist.
Wow, that's
That's what that
awesome.
song means.
That's awesome. I love it. And you wrote the record. How long ago was it that you wrote it? A couple months ago, or?
I found my creative process is wild. Like I'll create a loop 3 years ago and when just now get to it. This is like a big jigsaw puzzle with my mind and putting the music together. I would have to look back at that file to see when I created, but I would say probably like 2018
Okay.
initially.
That's awesome. I love it. I love anybody who's out there making their dreams come true. That's huge. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit of that record, and let me just go ahead and let everybody take a listen. It is awesome, you guys. You are really gonna like it. Let me just see here. Of course, my my technical stuff is has a mind of its own, but we gonna get this going. No worries.
It happens to me too.
Isn't that something?
Now, I went to school for audio engineering, but
Oh, did you?
yeah, it's an art institute in Northside.
Oh wow. Okay, here we go. Let me clear my face and I run my race. I got some patience. I found my place. Let me clear my face as I run my race. I got some patience. I don't know my face. I learned a lesson at a session in the Western. All the blessings in my essence. Mama called me asking questions. I think I prayed for all of my
Folks. Oh my
it's
bad.
all good. It's all good. I love it. That's amazing. And basically in that song you were saying you found your pace. I love it that you trying to make things, come true on your own terms, your own way. I love it. And that beat, it just, it sounds like it's got a little bit Caribbean, a little bit Nigerian, a little bit American. So you put all the beats in there together, Afro beats and all, huh?
Yes, yes. I wanted people to dance when they first heard the record.
Oh yes, I love it. It's awesome. So this next record that you have, pronounce it for me. Is it Loa? How do you pronounce it?
That's correct. Loa. That's how I say it. It if you wanted to be phonetically correct, you say lower. But I gotta put my twist to it.
Okay, okay. And what is this record about? What has inspired you to do this record?
It's an upbeat dancing record. It's not too deep. It's just wanting to get the party started. Woman and man, interacting. How to vibe.
Okay, okay. Well, let's play it for everybody. Take a listen here. I love this stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right now with the way things are, you need something to lift your spirits. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me just go ahead
Definitely.
and play this song.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. 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 Bounce like this. Let me see you drop bounce like that. Yeah. Let me see you bounce like this. Let me see you bounce like that. Yeah. 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 So you dancing for dollars. You wanna go to a condo. Your mama don't act like that. Yeah. With a body like that. Chasing.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, Godwin. You are
Thank
truly,
you.
oh my gosh, blessed, gifted with music. Oh my goodness. So let me get into this interview. I'm always curious how people started their craft or their dream. So what first got you into music? What made you decide to just start doing music all of a sudden?
Well, I grew up in the church, so I was played the drums as well.
Oh wow.
Started in Peace Timpani, graduated to the full kit, the bass drum as well. So just hearing those grooves, that had to be the thing that did it for me. My mom also says that I came out of her belly, kicking and playing drums, so I guess that played a part.
Oh, that's awesome. Now your parents are Nigerian, so you're Nigerian, but you were born in America, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got that beat, that music in your blood already going. So for her to say you came out jamming, absolutely, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Who inspired you to make music? Did you have any favorite artists that you heard that inspired you?
I'd have to say my first inspirations were the hymns and the coming out of church,
Okay.
also Michael Jackson.
Mm.
There's a guy many people may not know. His name is Hugh Masekela and
Oh,
Paul Simon.
oh yeah.
When I was young, I watched a show. Excuse me, not a show. It was a tribute for Nelson Mandela because Nelson Mandela was incarcerated for many years in South Africa, and they did a tribute show concert for him, and they sang a song. Till this day, it moves me. It's called "Bring Back." It's called "Bring Back Nelson Mandela." You'll have to check it out. Get the chance. They love
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So at what point in your life, based upon, coming up in the church and the musicians that inspired you, at what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to do this and record and just go all the way with my dream? At what point did you come decide to do that?
when I really took the initiative was 2015. I
Mm,
initially wanted to do it in '09, but I didn't know how to.
okay.
It's
Okay.
one thing to want, but you have to know the how.
And did somebody show you how? Did they?
YouTube University and
Oh,
school as well, taking classes.
okay. So you went to school for what, engineering or music or?
Yes, I went to school for audio engineering.
Oh, Okay, awesome. Yeah, I see the mic there and the headphones. So you know how to do all that, the mixing and the whole nine, huh? That's awesome.
Yes, I haven't felt comfortable. I've only mixed one song that I've released, but in due time maybe we'll do more. But I like to pass off the work because I have it's time consuming in creating the product because I actually create the actual song.
Mm. Yeah, I can relate to that with writing books. People think you could just spit out a book in a week. No, it can be a year or more long process. So I can totally relate.
Right.
And my undergraduate degree is in producing, directing. So I'm very familiar with what you're talking about with audio and editing and putting it all together. And so, do you play other musical
Okay.
instruments to create the song yourself?
I play drums and I play the piano. I'm self-taught, not the best. I'm not Mozart. I can create, but I always like to call live musicians in them. So both of those songs that you heard have a live guitar on.
Oh,
So like from time to time, I'll go to open mics in Atlanta and I'll find new musicians to collab and have them add to my music.
oh wow. It sounds so good. That's awesome. And you do so you write the actual lyrics and the music and everything and you engineer it yourself. Now, do you have a studio in your home that you're able to do all this?
Yeah, I mean, literally, I can record right here. Excuse me.
Oh wow.
The thing about audio is just to have a flat sound, and you're good. That's what I've learned. Because as long as there's no excess noise, I'm good.
Yeah. That's awesome because I see that big mic there. It's picking you well. And then I also noticed that if you turn this way, so technology is amazing. It is amazing. Oh, that is so cool. So you know your craft. Can't nobody tell you, oh, he went and got some beats or no, you know your craft. That's amazing.
Right.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Do you mind sharing that with the viewers?
I'm 21.
Man,
What?
the industry
Wow,
without
you're
right stuff.
you're very mature for 21. Oh my
No,
goodness.
Let me stop saying I'm really 32.
Are you
32.
joking?
That's between me and you.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm so gullible. But
It's
and the
all
reason why I
good.
ask is because I admire so many people that get it at a young age. There's so many people in life, unfortunately, they get it later in life. But when I see someone like yourself at a young age, you get it. You like, I'm grinding. I want to make my dreams come true. That's awesome. That's really good.
Thank you.
That's really,
Thank
really
you.
good. So, how would you describe the music that you typically created? I know you said earlier you do a little bit of Afro beats, and how would you describe it if you were to sell your music to somebody or the viewers want to go out and download your music? What would you say?
Creating every genre, but the question you asked is a great question because I'm reading a book right now, 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. It's taught me that I need to contract as far as the genres I feed the people, give them because um, that's the best way for me to build my audience. Later, I can then divert to other stuff. So I'm gonna focus on more R&B and like uh, Afro soul. So what music you just heard, but more slower tempo pace. Because I have my look, so I'm gonna feed into that. And I got it. Women already support me. They came to my first show, so I'm gonna give them more product, give them more music.
Oh, okay. And you said that I couldn't hear you that last part. You said
Okay.
people. What was that last part you said?
About women support my music. They came. They were the majority of the people who came to my show.
Well, I told
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna give them more product, give them more music.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And most of your fans, they love what the romantic slow music or the dancing type genre music, the ladies.
I have yet to give them a lot of the R&B, slow R&B. It's coming though. Like February's on the way, so preparing
Okay.
everything.
Awesome. I just cannot wait till we get out of this pandemic, right? I just heard on the
What?
news today that California shut down again. I'm like, no. I mean, and I get it. I get it. We want to make sure people are safe, but I know the vaccine is controversial, but I want to get back out there so I can go and see live music like yourself performing out there. I mean, gosh, I cannot wait to do that. So, what is one message that you would give your fans? Now, you said most of your fans are women. What is one message that you would send out to them that new music is coming? Stay tuned, or
The message I would give them is, I see, for the most part, just pursue your dreams. Whatever it is you have in your heart, go after it.
that's
Because
it.
at the end of the day, many people won't help you put you in position. They'll assist, but it's left up to you to get on that road and go to that finish line.
Just do it. Just
Yeah,
do
just
it.
do it.
Stop making excuses. Yeah, I can relate to that. I sat on books for years and said, oh, nobody's going to want to read this. And it took my husband to say, no, get it out there. And I did it. Like what you just said, I just did it. And they started selling. And it was like, whoa, really? So you're right. Just do it. Just do it. Make your dreams come true. I know that's right. That's what it's all about. So if there was somebody young out there that wanted to get into music, whether it's with instruments or writing, what advice would you give them that want to get into the music industry?
I would tell them to fully educate themselves, get books pertaining to the music business, watch interviews with successful artists. Specifically, I'll give you some artists to go watch. They'll give you insight on the music. 50 Cent, as far as music business, he's very calculated in what he does. You see how successful he is. Kendrick Lamar gives advice, and the music execs as well, because artists will go have their run, but the execs will continue to be there.
Mm, that is so true.
Get the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. And I think what you mentioned earlier, you produce a lot of your music. And sometimes and I learned this, but sometimes when you produce your own things, you get the bigger check. But when you let other people produce for you, they get the bigger chunk. Am I correct in the music? I know that's how it is in the book industry. So in the music business, yeah.
That's right.
Because you hear these stories about all these artists when they first came out. TLC talked about that when they first came out. They just signed the contract. They were so happy, but then later on they realized, wait a minute, new edition. We're not making no money. What did we sign? So you're right. Study and learn and know,
Have to.
hmm and learn what's going on. Do you have any collaborations coming out? Anytime soon with other artists that you know? Any local artists or people around?
I do. For the first time, I collab with a female artist in the summertime.
Okay.
Had like 3 or 4 records together. A few of the records, she was just adding her texture as far as vocals, harmonies, and stuff. But we definitely have a collab record that I haven't set a release date yet, but it's on the way.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't wait to give that to the followers, because that's a different dynamic for me.
Mm, okay. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So when you're not working and busy, you just, on average, how many hours would you say you just go in the studio and just jam and create? Are you in there for hours and hours or?
I'm
Anytime I can, but I'm on 10-hour shifts currently,
Oh,
9
wow.
to 5. So I'll get my sleep when I come home and wake up in the morning. As long as I can give at least an hour or two to the music, because sometimes it's not all about creating. I have to deal with the business of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff, the data input and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
at least an hour a day.
That's good. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you still got to eat, right? You still got to pay your bills while you're pursuing your dream. Absolutely. You got to have a steady income coming in while you are pursuing it. That's awesome. I love it. Like I said, to see a young person like yourself just pursuing your dreams and grinding and working hard and knowing that, it takes work. It's not going to come overnight, but it's going to come. And I think you are talented. I am so honored you
Thank
came
you.
on Let's Talk because I know one day I'm gonna be turning on
I'm honored
America.
for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn on American Music Awards, and there you go. I'll be like, I interviewed him. Awesome, awesome.
That's
Any
right.
last words you want to share? Anything you want to tell the viewers, your followers, your fans?
Um, New music is on the way. You
Okay.
know, I'm preparing to release a new single called "Let One Go." Uh, if not by the 15th of this month, then definitely the week of Christmas or the week after.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
my name, for those who don't know me, my name is Godwin. My tagline on all social media is "Only One God." That's why I added that.
Oh, only one Godwin. Okay, so you're saying it's only one Godwin. I like that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So they can follow you on Instagram, Facebook. Oh my gosh, what other ones are out there? Twitter, all as only one Godwin.
Yeah, everywhere. That's right.
All
Awesome.
platforms.
And ladies and gentlemen, he has his music is on YouTube. You can listen to him there, and it sounds so good. We played a sample here, but go there. I believe you are on Spotify, Tidal, and YouTube. Correct? Are those the three places they can listen to your
Yeah.
music?
Yeah.
And you have four. You have
Anywhere you listen to your music at.
okay, and you got two other songs as well out there that they can download. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and what are the names of those songs?
So the first song you played, "I Found My Pace," is a part of a larger project, four-song project. That project is called "I Open My Eyes." The other songs on there is called "Overcharge," "Bye Bye," and "The Money."
Okay. And then you said "buy you buy." Is that how you said it? Is that how you pronounce
Oh,
it?
"Bye Bye." So that's my language. So let me
Oh,
give
well,
you
Give
a
you
gem
yes, please
right
gem
here.
say
right quick.
it.
So I'm from in Nigeria. There's 36 states. There's only like one state that speaks my language. So I would say I'm from Akwa Ibom, and my tribe is called Efik or Ibibio. Excuse me, that's the language. My actual tribe is in City Blue. It goes deep. It's the same way how you say you're from Atlanta. Then if you're really from Atlanta, as far as one of the zones and what side of Atlanta are you from? You know what street. You know,
That's
so
amazing.
bye bye, my language means there's no problem, no worries.
Mm. Yes, I love it. And sometimes I'm just so envious of Africans because being an African American, as you know, that was stripped from us. So unless you go out and you dig and search and find out. So I envy you and your parents for knowing where you come from and your tribe. And I didn't know that. You just educated me on something that there's 36 states within Nigeria. I did not know that. That's amazing. That's
Yes,
awesome.
I want to say you should everyone. You know, it's all love from my side because it's the dynamic. I'm born here, so I see it, and what you just about to dive into is it's a whole nother. That's a conversation to say the least.
Mm.
You know, but it's love on my end. I hope that more people continue to just go and because there's love there for ones that are here.
Mm-hmm. Oh
You know.
wow. I love it. Yeah, you just encourage me. I mean just talking about that right there. I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute now. That's awesome. That's awesome." Well, only one Godwin. Everybody you can follow him with that name. Godwin, I thank you for coming on Let's Talk. Like I said, I am honored. You are truly talented. I love your music. It's awesome. You guys go out there, make sure you download his stuff. He is definitely on his way, on his way.
Thank you.
So I want to
Thank you.
thank you for coming on. You are welcome here anytime, anytime.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So you guys make sure you follow him. You can follow him anywhere at Godwin One Everything or One Godwin Everything. So I apologize for the audio, when you change your streaming service. But anywho, it's all good, right? So this is a podcast. We're not CNN, we're not professionals, but we're doing the best we can. So I appreciate you guys' love and support for watching and staying with me every week. So as we close out the show, I want to leave you guys with a positive thought. But first off, I want to thank my guest, Godwin. And I also want to thank my guest, Dr. Adrienne, for coming on and telling us about True Black Essentials, as well as telling us about her couch conversations and mental health during this pandemic. So thank you very, very much, Dr. Adrienne and Godwin as well. They're both driven in making their dreams come true. So I thank them. As we close out the show, I always leave you guys with a positive thought. The positive thought is this: it is by Abraham Lincoln. I saw this online and I thought, wow, how befitting. So it says, it is what it is, but it will become what you make it. Right? It is what it is, but it will become what you make it. So if you got a situation in front of you, you know, turn it around, make it the best of it. So with that, that was from Abraham Lincoln. So you guys, you can check out my show every week on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Let's Talk with Author Drillette. And on YouTube, Let's Talk with Author Drillette. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on YouTube and tell a friend. And on Facebook, make sure you follow me as well as set your notifications for whenever I go live. Again, I appreciate you guys staying with me. Next week, we're going to have a comedian come on. He's going to get us laughing and get us ready for the holidays. So I appreciate you guys. As always, I thank my live studio audience for being there for me. You guys are thebomb.com. And I love you guys. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And I love you guys. And I'm out.